Good evening and welcome to Macon's Minute. I'm your host, Tony Anthony Macon. Thank you for stopping by. Tonight's topic, CEO Kevin Adele of the Word Network is under fire for a meme he sent to a pastor. A pastor who used to be a show host on his network. There's a petition currently out to boycott the Word Network. Who better to talk about it than a former employee? This guy. Oh man. Yeah, there's a petition out. I signed it. I signed it. It was the meme, very distasteful. Another former employee sent it to me earlier today. Salute to the homie Ramonte. And it was early this morning. First thing I got up about 6:30 a.m. and I look and there's an article in the Free Press speaking about the situation. So I read the article and I had to go search for the actual meme. The meme is Kevin Adele posted as a pimp with several pastors behind him, one of being Bishop George Bloomer. The meme is basically, so many words, is stating that, he's the pimp and those are his hoes. Very disrespectful. Very racially insensitive. And that was the first thing that Bishop George Bloomer stated. Now, the Free Press reported it, and they were kind of in the middle. They gave you a little bit of George Bloomer's side and a lot of Kevin Adele's side. Kevin Adele spoke on it, saying basically he only sent it to Bishop George Bloomer because his employees found it on the internet. Station owner Dodie Johnson, one of them, found it on the internet, thought it was distasteful. They gave it to Kevin Adele, and he said he forwarded it to the bishop. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I also listened to what Bishop George Bloomer had to say about it. And he has receipts. Yes, that man has receipts. That man said that he went to the Word Network offices, and Kevin Adele had it in his phone, and he showed it to him, and he told him that that's not a good look. He didn't like it, and when he left the office, Kevin Adele still thought it was funny and sent it to him on his phone. He has receipts. He showed it on Roland Martin's show. It's there. And he said, he's told him, he's like, hey man, don't send me this. This is not funny. So he said that there were other employees Kevin Adele called him with other employees in the office and stated, hey man, tell him he was overreacting, and he told him, no, this shit is not funny. It's racist. He stated later that it's similar to being blackface. I'd have to agree with him. So he sent this meme, and then he followed up by, in a sense, harassing Bishop George Bloomer with another text, a meme that shows George Bloomer's face on tattoo, the plane. He told him that's who he was, and as in the sense of, I'm your boss, the plain boss. Yeah. Then he went a little step further after he was told that, it was similar to blackface. And he sent another meme or another picture that was photoshopped where he had himself and another person whose face was blacked out with a Sharpie marker. Yeah. See, it's weird because, like, this whole situation kind of hits close to home. I never really spoke about why I left 10 a.m. But one of the reasons was kind of something similar to this. I remember the day I started my exit plan. See, one of the things that Kevin Adele mentioned was that he employs 95% of his employees are black. As if that doesn't make him racist. It's not like you don't really pay well to the black people that work for you, buddy. So to mention that doesn't really, really hold any weight. I know I didn't get paid well when I was there, and a lot of people that was around me didn't get paid well. I only got a few more dollars than some of those people, and I could say we were similar to slave wages. Yeah, wasn't that much. So you can't boast on the fact that you have 95% black employees when you don't pay them well. But yeah, my exit plan was because of the fact, to me, it wasn't my main form of income, so I didn't really care. It was for me to break into radio. So I took the job, worked there for 2 years, never really acknowledged of how great of an employee I was. I did have a sports show at 5 a.m. But that wasn't nothing really hang my hat on, But the day that I decided that I was leaving, I was on the Steve Hood show, and Steve Hood had a guest on. I was working the board. Steve Hood had a guest on, Negus Vu. Negus Vu was speaking on the Sambo Awards that they were giving out, the first annual Sambo Awards. This was the first year for the Sambo Awards. Prior to that, it was called something else. Something of that, along that nature. But they were talking about, the people that they gave awards to. Negus Vu, black man. Steve Hood, black man. And Negus Vu was being interviewed and speaking on the awards, and Kevin Adele was listening to the show and decided to come into the studio. He came into the studio and he insinuated that there should be, well, no, I don't even, he asked directly about why isn't, he asked why wasn't a black pastor, Horace Sheffield, Bishop Horace Sheffield, why wasn't he on the Sambo list? And I remember looking at Steve and I said, yo, where's this white boy going? I was offended. Like, you don't get to join in on this, homeboy. You do not get to say who's a Sambo. But when he asked Negus Vu was on the phone. So when he asked Negus Vu said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. He was like, did Horace Sheffield receive a Sambo award? Negus Vu didn't know who was asking the question. He just said, no. And he kind of let it be. And Steve Hood made sure the audience knew who was asking that question. He said, ladies and gentlemen, that was Kevin Adele, the owner of 910 AM, who just asked that question. And I told Steve later, I said, look, Steve, I was like, honestly, I was like, I almost cut his mic off. I was about to just walk out of the studio because I wasn't feeling that. I ain't gonna say what I wanted to do, but I wasn't feeling it. It just wasn't, it didn't sit well with me. So, but yeah, shortly after that, I said I was gonna get out of here because it gave me a sense of where he thought he stood. Now I don't have any I don't have any beef with the company. I don't like I'm doing well. I was doing well prior to. I'm not, it's not something, I'm not bitter. It's not something that's lingering on me. I'm just only talking about it because of what I see and what I heard. So it was I just thought it was funny. Like, I don't have anything against Kevin Adele. Do I like his business practices? No. Do I like him personally? No. Comes across as, the typical privileged daddy's boy. Yeah. Some of the things that I've heard from other employees wasn't always great. I could say that, I'm pretty sure if you polled a lot of employees that, former employees, they wouldn't have not much. I won't even say, I'm pretty sure all of them would probably say this shit. They didn't like it because of the treatment. It was white guys who said they didn't like him and how he treated them. So watching Bishop George Bloomer speak on the things that he talked about on the Roland Martin show, I was in agreement with him. I'm pretty sure that, he's not lying. I could, some of the things that Kevin Adele has done was preemptive strikes on people who've left the company. Like, the only reason why Bishop George Bloomer said he spoke about anything was because of the fact that people were saying that he got fired, because when he quit and left, he was just going to leave it as water under the bridge. But people were stating that he got fired, which he, if you watch the interview, you can see what he said. But, I've seen other people quit, leave the company, and then get bad mouth a day or so later, make it seem like they got fired.
You come back, this job won't be here for you.
I hope you're right.
I am right. You're fired.
Why? I mean, I already quit, so.
No, you're fired. I write the book, okay? Here's how it went down. You walked in, you're fired.
All right, Dan, thanks for being so mature about this and professional.
I was very professional. You're fired.
All right.
Get out. Get out of my sight.
For certain things like wearing T-shirts as wearing apparel merchandise from the studio at home, and or bad ratings or anything that can be thought of. I'm not gonna put any names out there, but I've seen it. So yeah, man. I'm along with the boycott. I just sorry. Not sorry. But I think it's quite funny, and I do think it's a very, very racist meme. if not even just racist, disrespectful to send that to a pastor that was working alongside you with your company. Disrespect. Out.